the plan was to post every day um, throughout this journey of getting sober and getting off of kratom, but that didn't go as planned. Um, I don't remember what I talked about in the last video, but since then, a lot has happened since then. Um, I had a sober day here and there, I believe, like maybe twice, but um actually I don't even know. I don't remember. I don't even know the last time I posted, but I finally did something that I had been thinking about for a long time but have not wanted to do at all for a few different reasons. Um I finally told my parents about the kratom problem that I have. Um, I've told them in the past about my problems with weed and alcohol, um, but uh, I think they were under the impression that I no longer had those problems. Um, but I told them about kratom, and kratom is different than weed and alcohol. You know, alcohol is socially acceptable. Everybody drinks at parties or whatever, celebrations and holidays. Um, Smoking weed is, harmful for your brain, of course, makes you lazy, but it, when I told them, when they knew I smoked weed, it wasn't the end of the world. But kratom is opening a door to opiates, I think. I understand that like hard alcoholics and heroin users will use kratom to get off of what they're using, and that it works for them, and that's great. I believe that kratom does save people's lives, but I also believe it can go the other way around, and that kratom can be a door into that world. And that's definitely like that's for me. I haven't done any harder drugs at all. I don't want to because I know that it would become my whole life. But I know that kratom is a door for me into that world, and I've opened the door and I have looked inside, but I haven't walked through at all, and I hope I never do. But um, so I told my parents, and they were supportive and um, and happy that I told them, and um, they are, they're trying to help as much as they can. I mean, as much as anybody can help. But um, they worry. My mom is worried, I think, a little bit, which is part of the reason why I never wanted to tell my parents about this. I would have liked to just beat this on my own without them knowing, but um, I had to tell them. I just had to tell them because I have been lying to them for a long time about pretending to be okay and pretending to not have this problem, and uh, I just had to tell him. I just had to be honest, and I thought that maybe telling my parents was the thing that I was missing here when trying to get sober. I thought that was kind of the last thing that I could do that was preventing me from getting sober, and so I told them, and I stayed at their house for 5 days, and I gave them my keys so that I couldn't go anywhere, go get kratom, and I stayed clean for that 5 days. Well, I stayed off of kratom for that 5 days. I did sneak a couple shots of vodka here and there, but but I did not have kratom, which was fantastic. I was miserable, though. I was miserable. I was not sleeping. I pretty much didn't sleep at all the whole time that 5 days. Um, but I was surviving. I was fine. I was miserable, but I was getting through it, And I went back home. I thought that would be a good start for me to go back on my own and stay sober. But I was driving back home. It's a 2.5 hour drive home, and I went to the smoke shop and got kratom and took kratom before I even got home. And I told myself, and I told my parents too, that it was because I just was exhausted, that I just was mentally exhausted, and that I just needed a day of sleep, and then I would get right back into it. And the next day, I did, however, actually, I did not take kratom the next day after that, and I thought that wow, I was actually telling the truth to myself and to my parents. That actually, I just did need one day to use kratom, and then I actually would get right back into it. So I went a day without kratom, and then the next day I took kratom again, and then the next day I took kratom, and the next day and the next day. So, so that did not work. It was a big step, of course. I'm glad I told my parents, but it is still not enough. Um, and so I am going to AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. I've been to a couple, 2 or 3 Narcotics Anonymous meetings as well. They're different. They're different. I definitely enjoyed my time at those meetings. I don't know where the NA meetings are here in the town that I live in. I'm sure they're there out there somewhere. But everyone at these meetings are saying go to 90 meetings in 90 days. So that's what I'm doing. I've been to 8 meetings in the last 8 days. I missed one day. I missed one day, but today I went to 2 meetings, which I think helped a lot. So maybe I'm gonna start doing 2 meetings a day. I have another week before going back to work. Um, so maybe I could do two or 3 meetings a day or whatever until I get back to work, and then I'll just do 1 meeting every night. But um, so I'm going to meetings. I'm reading the Big Blue AA book. Um, I think that's gonna help a lot. And on Monday, the Monday night meeting is gonna be like a sponsor meeting. I guess there's gonna be people there willing to sponsor somebody. So I'm gonna get a sponsor hopefully on Monday. That's the 3 things that people say, like these are the first steps to take to recovery is go to AA meetings as much as you can, read the book, the AA book, and most importantly, get a sponsor to help you work the program, go through the 12 steps, And so that's what I'm going to do. Um, today, today was a really good day. I hadn't had a day like today in actually a long time. Pretty much the whole time I've had time off of work the last couple months, I did not have a single day like today. Um, I woke up in the morning and what did I do? First thing I did was go to the, what was it? I went to the 12 o'clock meeting. That was great. Um, did not take kratom. And then went home and made breakfast, played some games with my friends, and then decided not to spend the whole day playing video games, and I did so many things today. I cleaned my kitchen that I had been ignoring. I cleaned my desk, my dumpster of a desk that just had all this crap on it. Cleaned that, did laundry, cleaned the living room, cleaned the rest of my room. Uh, I sewed my pocket on my sweater back together, which I had been needing to do for a while, and uh, took out all the garbage. I just was completely productive all day today. And I did not take Kratom throughout all of that, which is a miracle. And then I went to the and then I went to the smoke shop and I got Kratom, and I told the girl there that this is my last bottle of Kratom and I'm done and it is sober time. And I have told the people at the smoke shop that before. I told two other people that, but this is the first time that I said this is my last bottle to this girl, and she said, "Oh, what's your plan?" And I was like, "I'm going to AA, and I'm reading the book, and I'm gonna get a sponsor." And then she told me she goes to AA and that she goes to this one in this town over that I hadn't been to, and that it works, you know, and she likes it there. And so I went to that one tonight, and she wasn't there, but I really liked it. I liked the people that were there tonight, and I'm gonna go to that one again tomorrow, and um, it was great. It was great. Uh, what was I gonna say? I got back home at like 9:30, and I what did I do? I cleaned the rest of my kitchen. I made lasagna, and I the whole time I kept on looking at the bottle of kratom, and I was saying no, I was actually saying no to it. Something about today. It just I did not want to touch it at all. I did not want to touch the kratom, and I don't know exactly what it was. Um, Last night I did pray to God a little differently. It was more of a desperate prayer. I just was laying it all out there, and I just asked God, just I beg you to just take this addiction from me, or give me the strength to get through this. I'm so absolutely done with this. Whatever I have to do, I surrender. I'm letting it go. I said all the things, you know, and so maybe God gave me a little strength today. And he didn't really take away the temptation, but he gave me the strength to say no to it and to ignore it today. And it was a great day. Um, about 20 minutes after I put the lasagna in the oven, I took kratom, and because there's no good reason. I took it because I wanted to, but my legs were kind of killing me because of the restless leg withdrawals, you know, which is a miracle that I even made it through the whole day to the point to where I am feeling the restless leg, because usually I just take it in the middle of the day because I'm just craving it or whatever. But so I took kratom, you know, whatever. I made it through almost the whole day, and it was a great day today. And I'm gonna go to AA every single day, Even if I don't quit, if I don't get sober by the time I go back to work, that's fine. I can still quit whether I have to taper or not. Oh, I went to a doctor's appointment, and I also have not really wanted to try this because I was kind of worried about, am I gonna get hooked on this or not? Uh, I have been taking gabapentin a little bit, um, not in the same day that I use kratom. I'll take gabapentin kind of on my sober days, or maybe like I have had more sober days than I remember. I don't. They're just sprinkled around here and there, but gabapentin helps enough for the restless leg. It doesn't completely make it disappear, make the withdrawals disappear, but they it does enough to where I can get enough sleep. Uh, if I am if I'm still trying to get off of kratom while I'm back at work, gabapentin will give me enough sleep so that I am functional at work every day still, you know? And so I was worried about taking gabapentin because I've heard stories about people that get hooked on it, you know. This one dude said that gabapentin was his soulmate, which really freaked me out because I was like, I really did not want to just try another thing to get hooked on, you know. But I don't think it's going to be a problem. It barely does anything at all. It pretty much only relieves the restless leg about 60%, which I'm not going to get hooked on gabapentin. It's it's not anything, you know. Once I get through the withdrawals, I have no reason to continue taking gabapentin, you know. But so um so yeah. Uh there's hope. I have hope. Something's happening. I feel my mind is changing a little bit. These meetings are helping, you know. I've heard hundreds of stories of people and what they go through with their addictions, you know. But I think it's more just like it's just getting out of the house, going to a place every day. Sometimes I talk, sometimes I don't. Um, and it's just being surrounded with people that understand completely what I'm going through. Everyone just gets it, you know. My parents, they are supportive and they want me to get better, but they don't 100% get it, you know. They're like they also understand that they don't really get it either, you know. But the people at AA completely understand, you know. A lot of them have stories about going homeless and almost dying, many overdoses, losing their kids, getting divorced, going to prison, and like I don't have any of those stories, but it's a glimpse into my future if I don't get sober now. And so I don't know, something's happening. Um, Maybe I'm not going to get sober tomorrow, maybe not in a week or a month, but I have a hope that I haven't had in a while. And so that's all I can ask for right now. Um, I thank God for the progress that I have made. Um, And I have read your guys' comments. I haven't responded at all, but I appreciate you guys. Um, Somebody I read a comment just now before this that he said, uh, I'm not going to be content playing video games all day, and that's absolutely right. The last few days, I haven't necessarily gotten bored of playing video games, but I have felt that I absolutely need to be doing something else besides that. It's video games are another addiction. In the perfect world, I would not have the desire to play video games at all. I would not have the desire to use any kind of drug or alcohol, and I would be outside, and I'd be in nature, and I'd be talking with people, making new friends, and doing outdoor activities, building something, painting, doing all the hobbies that I have that I don't do because I'm taking kratom or drinking instead. Um, yeah, and of course, I'd like to find a wife at some point, and I don't believe that will happen if I am still uh, taking kratom and drinking every day. So this video is long enough. Um, Thank you guys. I don't know when I'll post again, but thank you. All right, bye bye.